Hi everyone, welcome to PawTube, a video chat series focused on pet health and well-being. We have with us today Charly and Larry, co-founders of PAWDEGA. Welcome to PawTube, or shall I say welcome back?
Yes, thank you so much for having us again.
Thank you again.
It is so lovely to have you back on PawTube. And Charly and Larry, like we discussed, we're going to tackle a very important topic today for every pet parent, which is whether our dogs need to go through a detoxification process post-vaccination. So, for example, in the UAE, it's mandatory for dogs to go through the rabies vaccination annually. Now, shall we start with the basic question, whether it's at all important for dogs to go through a detoxification process post-vaccination? If so, could you both please explain why?
Yes.
That's a really great question.
So I would say that it is important to do a detoxification after a vaccine administration. And one of the reasons why we would say it's important is because when a vaccine is made, it is commonly made with heavy metals, preservatives, adjuvants, and other toxins that are commonly found in vaccines. So when you give a vaccine, you're not only giving the dead disease of whatever you're trying to prevent, it also comes with other, as we just mentioned, preservatives and adjuvants and toxins that also enter into the body, which can also cause other health concerns as well. And it helps, or it can cause side effects when you are giving a vaccine. So that's why we would say that it is important to do a detoxification from these commonly items that you would find in the vaccine. That's what I would say. What would you say?
Yeah, so also just maybe talking a little bit more about the potential side effects of vaccines. They can show up anywhere between a couple of minutes after the vaccine was given to sometimes even months after. So because it can also have an effect on the immune system, which we'll talk a little bit more later. But yeah, it is very important to detox from the heavy metals and adjuvants that can be found in vaccines.
What is a good detox regimen post-vaccination? What are some of the, important holistic remedies that work post-vaccination?
Yeah, so that's also a really great question, very important. What I would also say is talking about a holistic approach, which means multiple angles. We're really talking about not just one thing isolated, but as a whole, our pets, and wanting to take a holistic approach to natural pet wellness and helping our pets live as long as possible. It is very important to detox your pet after vaccination, but it's also very important to prepare your pet for vaccination. So making sure that your pet is actually healthy going into a vaccination, because you don't ever want to vaccinate a sick animal. As it also mentions on the vaccine leaflet, actually, sick pets should not be vaccinated. But anyway,
I'm so glad you brought it up, because this is also something that pet parents should be aware of. And if you could also, along with what we are going to, touch upon, if you could also add some thoughts to some things that we can do at home to ensure that our pets are healthy as much as possible.
Yeah. So, well, we always recommend that you prepare your pet for vaccinations by supporting their immune system and their detox organs.
It can take a while for the microbiome, the gut of the dog, to become healthy. So generally, it can take anywhere in the range of like 6 weeks for an unhealthy dog to really start having a strengthened gut health and immune system. So I would probably say if they can try at least 6 weeks, but whenever they can implement pre and probiotics would be the best thing that they can do. And the only reason why I say that is because over 80% of the immune system lays in the gut. So when we're supporting gut health, we're supporting a critical part of overall health in general. So that's would be my input on that one.
Yeah, and then phytosflora, it also actually helps with detox slightly, but if you can add a second product to prepare your pet for vaccines, I would add liver tonic, because that helps to support the liver, kidney, gallbladder, and pancreas. So if you're using phytosflora and liver tonic in preparation to the vaccine, you have a really good solid base that will help your pet actually not show side effects.
Yes, and milk
And
thistle is such a magical component in the Adored Beast liver tonic, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And it's a combination herb. So when we talk about detox, we don't want to just support one organ, because they all work synergistically together. So again, talking about a holistic approach, that's why we love the liver tonic so much, because it's multiple different herbs that will synergistically support the kidneys and the liver and the gallbladder and the pancreas. So whereas like a lot of pet parents will feed milk thistle, just milk thistle, which is amazing, but it is a very like just a I don't want to say targeted. I don't want to say I can't.
Perhaps the right thing in this context would be not in isolation. It has to work with the other very, very good components that are there in the liver tonic. So if I understand correctly, as preparation to vaccination would be Fido's Flora probiotics and prebiotics, and the liver tonic, Adored Beast liver tonic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything that
I would say that's definitely what I would recommend.
And anything that pet parents can do post-vaccination for the body to, sort of flush out any toxins, if at all.
Yeah.
So if they can take like one thing, I would highly recommend the Rebalancer by Adored Beast, which is a homeopathic remedy. And what this does is actually helps to remove those heavy metals that I was talking about that are commonly found in a vaccine. And they can give this like immediately after the vaccine is given, because sometimes some pets can show a reaction or have an adverse reaction immediately after a vaccine is given. So if you give the Rebalancer this homeopathic remedy immediately after, or even a days later, or you want to give it as soon as possible is what I'm trying to say. Once you do that, you help to remove the potential side effects that may be developed once that vaccine is given. So it helps to remove the heavy metals, the preservatives, the toxins, all without removing, which is the most important thing, the benefits of the vaccine itself. I think that's really important.
Is there one must-have item and one must-avoid item for dogs post-vaccination? Of course, you can add the same for cats too.
Yes. I would say one must have post-vaccination. Was that the right? Post-vaccination, I would definitely say the Rebalancer would be one of the most important things to include, which is a homeopathic remedy that we spoke about earlier by Adored Beast. And that's just because it helps to remove the potential side effects that is caused from a vaccine administration. And if possible, if they can add one more thing, it would be that Phytosflora afterwards, just so we can help balance that immune system and bring it back into homeostasis. It's a really solid product. Like it helps to, get the gut lining, or get the gut health back where it needs to be and supporting the immune system.
And the must avoid, this is very important, and it's actually the thing.
Talk about this.
Yeah, and it's actually the thing that most people expose their pets to right after vaccinations or at the same time, because their vet suggests it. Must avoid, we would say, if you're going to vaccinate your pet, definitely avoid dewormers or flea and tick, chemical flea and tick treatments, pesticides at the same time, because it is bombarding the body with so many things all at once. And it just, that's why we see, like at PAWDEGA, we see so many side effects from just or so many potential side effects just from the flea and tick treatments and dewormers and stuff alone. But when it's at the same time as the vaccine, it just really, we do see an increase in people coming to us with help, like within a 2 to 4 week window afterwards. So, and it's oftentimes these dogs and cats get everything at the same time, and it's just too much.
Thank you so much for joining me on PawTube, Charly and Larry. As always, it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you so
for having
much.
us.
If anyone has any more questions, they can just message us on email or email us at bark@pawdega.com.